In the last episode, I took off from...
Just left the Nassau Harbor. I'm hoping to arrive in Cambridge Key in about 10 hours.
There, I woke up to these stunning views, but also some adventure when... I think these people just ran over the mooring ball. Luckily, we were able to remedy the situation. In this episode, while I don't want to sound ungrateful being in this beautiful location and all, I want to share with you some of the behind-the-scenes obstacles that I've been facing.
What I'm going to show you is kind of the stress behind the travel when it comes to sailboat cruising in the Exumas, especially if you have a deeper draft boat. Mine is not like the deepest, but it's on the deeper side. It's a 6-foot draft. So on the chart, you're going to see a lot of the stuff says 4 feet and stuff that causes you some headaches. Well, how am I going to go in there? What kind of path am I going to take? Anyway, so here's the planning for the day. We're going to go down to what they call Little Farmer's Key. There's supposed to be another mooring field there that I want to go to. I prefer the mooring balls. I know it's usually cost you $20 as opposed to anchoring for free, but you have a couple things with mooring balls. Well, as long as it's a good kind of location that's kept up, but you have that feeling that your anchor's not going to drag in the night, so that's a nice feeling. It's also a little easier single-handed to grab a mooring ball than it is to anchor. Setting the anchor is not that difficult for single-handed, but pulling up the anchor on your own is difficult because you have to run back and forth and try to pick it up, and then if you do release the anchor in your boat, then if there's a current, your boat starts to drift, but you're still trying to work on getting the anchor all set up in the front anchor locker while the boat is drifting a certain way, especially these narrow areas where there's no real room for error. You drift 10 feet, 20 feet, next thing you know, you're in a much shallower area or on rocks or who knows what. So the mooring ball situation, especially in the Exumas, is safer for me, I found. But anyway, let me show you what I do on these charts, and I'll kind of give you the idea of how stressful it is to navigate with a 6-foot draft. So that's where I am there, the red dot. The mooring balls there. So you'll see the feet, 9 feet, 8 feet, right? Anchorage also, you could anchor in this area, but you try to leave 16 feet and then you start getting these like landmines, right? You're like, what the heck is that? Those are indications of rocks under the surface, and then there it's only 6'6". So alright, so then I'm going to exit, coming here. Now obviously here it gets to 20 feet, that's nice. So what I'll do is I'll come out here where it gets to be 18, 20 feet, and then I'll head south, right? And I will come down to what they call Little Farmer's Key. There's Farmer's Cut. Now this is another sketchy area. So I'm trying to get here to those mooring balls. Going down, but then having to deal with this array of rocks, hopefully staying in this area, but then again, you don't know what shifted from these charts. A lot of the sandbars will shift with storms and things, and so you're kind of going in on faith that this chart is exactly right, which it's not always right. And then this, of course, gives you a little bit of a scare. Good light and visual navigation needed. So come down here. At this point, you get to be 9, 10 feet. Watch out for these rocks. And then I will make it to my mooring field. So that is the plan of action for the day. Actually, I wanted to kind of a little piece of honesty this morning. I've been navigating these areas. It's causing all this stress. I'm not able to sleep some nights. Not what you see in the glamorous, drone shots of the other sailing channels that say that it's all fun and games and it's all tropical paradise. It is a tropical paradise, don't get me wrong, but it's also stressful. But I'm not gonna whine about it. I'm in this tropical paradise. Okay, let's get ready. All right, let's do this. I'm busting out my new Bahamas hat because I've been getting too sunburned in the face.
Gonna leave this beautiful key and head to the next one. Check out this color difference in the water, it's incredible. So right there where you see that color difference, that goes from about, let's see, my chart says, goes from about 15 feet of water to about 2 feet of water. That's why you see that color change, because it becomes just all sand underneath the water that you can see. Just incredible out here. All right, we're sailing now. A little windy probably on the microphone, but put up the head sail only for now. My autopilot's on the fritz, so if there's one thing for a single-handed sailor that you really need, it's critical. It's an autopilot or some type of wind vane auto steering mechanism. 1 second. Show you what I got here for the autopilot is a AutoHelm ST4000, a very common autopilot back in the day. It's like this wheel style with a little motor action right here. It connects to this sensor here, and you can make it go like 1 or 2 degrees different course. It worked fairly well for the first couple of weeks of sailing. By the way, just check out this beautiful water. Incredible. All right, let me get on course. And I'll demonstrate this for you. And I'll also explain why it's so important for a single-handed sailor to have a good autopilot. Anytime you want the boat to go the direction you want to go and you're going to be away from the cockpit for a moment, it's critical on a sailboat that it goes in that direction and stays there, because you might need to run onto deck, untangle some kind of line, you might need to run below, even to grab yourself a snack in the middle of the day, which I just had to do. You need it to go straight for at least 5 minutes, because if 30 seconds of not going straight and your boat is in a different direction, and the next thing you know, the wind has your head sail is backwinded, and you're in a depending on the level of wind. Right now, luckily, it's only like 12 or 13 knots. So even if I got backwinded, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But if it's going 16, 17, 18 knots, you can be in danger if you get backwinded with your head sail. Okay, so you need it to be a good autopilot, and it's like the key to anything. I mean, whenever I had my autopilot working, I was able to, I was doing like push-ups and working out, and I would go down to the cabin for a moment, make myself a snack. Now the thing is completely effed up. Let me show you. So I'm gonna turn it on for a moment. Right here, auto. Hear that beep? You gotta then come over here and you gotta push this clutch up. Now wait for it. It's supposed to stay on course. Of course, it's working for a moment now. It's working for a moment now, but it won't be long until it will not work. Let me show you. First of all, I need to... Oh, there it goes. Hear that noise? Okay, so what's happening is it's like skipping inside there. It's not actually turning when I put it, when I change the degrees to turn a bit. It's not doing anything. It's like, it's skipping. Now, if you know what it is, if you as a viewer know what I'm going through, let me know how I can fix this. Now I have, some of you might be thinking that you know the system, I have replaced the belt, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything to help it. So I think it's something worse than just the belt. I think it might be these components within this wheel section right here that is causing it not to grip anymore because it's all worn down. But right now I'm thinking I might have to just order a whole new wheel component, which is like 600 bucks. The whole autopilot replacement is about 1,500 bucks, but you can do, there we go. Okay. So there you have it. It lasted a couple of minutes, and even when doing that, it wasn't working, and now I'm way off course. All right. That was weird. Okay. So even with that, it's not working. So what I've set up is old-fashioned style autopilot. Got this bungee cord. All right, and then I can let go of the helm, and it stays on course pretty well. Oops. So it stays on course pretty well for about, like I said, a minute or two, and it won't do the drastic change as the other helm was doing whenever it completely fails. So that's the good news. It's not doing a drastic turn. It's doing a gradual turn of about 5 to 10 degrees off course. I can manage that, you know, for a couple minutes, but I cannot manage a 90-degree turn, you know, within 30 seconds of letting go of the helm and everything goes haywire. So this is my temporary solution. Right now it's turning up in the wind, and it is going quite a bit that way. So autopilot is critical. Take it off my little bungee autopilot for a moment. Get back to this side. All right, so you get the idea why autopilot is so important. Now imagine, if you will, if I had to put up the mainsail. Right now I've just got the head sail going. Alright. Which for me, single-handed, if the wind is somewhat, you know, coming from my back or at a broad reach, let me just make sure I'm not gonna run into anything over here. So for me, the head sail is the way to go if it's lighter winds and if the wind is somewhat at my back at a broad reach. Then I can operate it fairly easily. Now, the head sail as a single-handed sailor is a whole chore in and of itself. The head sail, in order to put the head sail up, I have to run up to the mast. Right next to the mast, I have to start pulling up on the halyard. I have to get the thing to go up. I have to be away from the helm for like 5 minutes. How am I going to be away from the helm for 5 minutes when I have no autopilot? It's going to be tricky. What's happening? It's going to be tricky, but I'm going to have to do it sooner or later. And then again, obviously, to take down the main is even harder because I've got to take it down, and I've got to be going into the wind. I've got to keep that course into the wind while I bring down the mainsail and put all the sail ties while I flake the sail down onto the boom. That's like a 5 or 10 minute process. Try doing that without the autopilot. Your boat's going to be going all over the place. Although, to be honest, it wouldn't really matter too much once I get it down. If I can just get the mainsail down a little, going right into the wind, and then if it's not too windy, I shouldn't be in too bad of a situation if the boat starts doing circles, because at that point we're not going to be having any power. We're just going to be drifting a bit until I tie down the mainsail, and then we can continue. So anyway, enough of that. Check out this incredible water. Not sure if you can see because it's, there we go. starting to veer off course. So I got to take the helm again, but let's stop complaining. Let's enjoy the sail.
Next episode, I arrived to Farmer's Key to find this.
That's like about to fall apart right there. No. No, hell no, that's not. Oh, hell no. That's like a cinder block. Oh, hell no.
So join me next time, but before we go, a quick message from one of my patrons.
Hey Jos, it's Carlos from Buzzers. I am calling you today from Fuerteventura, and I just wanted to say hello and thank you for your videos. They're really inspiring, and I really like the honesty with which you do them. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon in Brussels. Cheers, bye.